when my son was born, a lot was said that he's like this causing ngithwale. A lot of Sangoma said a lot to say. Some were doing videos about it. And then they came back and said, my ancestors are punishing me through him. I can't sleep because I miss him. I don't question why he's not there, but I miss him. I miss him so much.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Venting Podcast with myself, Justice Shabalala.
Gogo Skhotheni, the DJ, the Sangoma, the Kobela, the Yonkinto Koko, 2K.
How are you doing, man?
I'm doing okay.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
I mean, I don't have a choice.
Yeah.
I don't have a choice. I have to be okay, you know?
Yeah.
Liana needs me. So if I'm not okay, I won't carry on being the best mom to her, and she only deserves that.
You know, when you texted me, I think during the week, you said you wanted me to speak to you on the podcast. I was like, I don't even know how am I going to speak to you, because I myself, I don't know how to speak to somebody who has lost a son. Do you know what I mean? Kinjale Famoto.
Yeah.
Just to have a little bit of a memory of him, you know, when you found out that you were pregnant with him, were you excited? Were you shocked? You know, you didn't want the baby. How was it like?
Oh, God. Me and Monde, obviously, we had Liana, right? We did not plan to have Liana. But when we found out we were pregnant with Liana, we were happy. And because we were both in love.
Yeah.
And then we had, now Monde doesn't have a baby boy.
Yeah.
It's girls only. And now we are married, you know. He came to my home to ask for a hand in marriage. And Monde Jr.'s life is something else, you know.
Yeah.
I went to the river. I asked my ancestors for a baby boy. And I said, I want him to carry my legacy on the healing side. Because as a mother, you look at your kid's character. And when I look at Liana is crazy. And she won't cope.
Yeah.
You know, she's too fragile.
She's very active.
She's active.
Yeah,
you know, this thing
yeah.
needs a person who has... Yes, we might have a fragile heart, but it needs you to be patient as well.
Yeah.
So Liana is not patient. And Liana is a good pretender.
Yeah.
You know, yeah. So I was like, no. This needs a pure person who's... Not that she's not pure, but she has her own character that I don't think will fit on this healing process. So I went to the river with Monde. Then I asked my sisters to give us... No muti was used. We just went there, we prayed. We got inside the river, we went out. And believe you me, the very same month I fell pregnant. And we were shooting a reality show with Mojalav at that time. So when we go to the doctor, they didn't want us to know the gender.
Oh.
Little did I know Monde was planning a baby shower behind my back.
Secretly so. Yeah.
So they wanted to do the baby reveal on that day. Yeah. So we kept on going to the doctor, but I don't know the gender. But I would see Monde's excitement. Oh, no, man, this is a boy. So, yeah, I don't want to lie. During my pregnancy, a lot happened. Me and Monde, that's where our fights started. Our fights did not start... I started being too neggy, I think. I always wanted him to be close to me.
Yeah.
Like I was too attached, you know.
You were pregnant. I mean, like the hormones were kicking in hard.
Exactly. I mean? So it was, I totally turned around because with Liana I wanted my space. With Liana, I wanted to be in the house. I wanted to be ezangomeni. I was very active. That's all I wanted. I just wanted to be around people. With Boy, I didn't even like anything that had to do with traditional things. Like, I didn't want to participate. Anything that had to do with iskopu just irritated me at that present moment. So luckily, I've got assistants. I've got amatwasa who are old enough to carry on with my things if I can't on that day. So yeah, we had it was an on and off kind of relationship with Monde. He didn't want to see me. And I had to ask Avantawa, what happens when you're pregnant and this happens? They're like, it's hormones. It happens. It happens, you know. But he was very supportive. But he didn't want to see himself close to me. He was very supportive. He'd go out, buy me anything I want. Pregnant pills, like these preggies. I don't know what they call them. Very expensive pills. And I would drink, go with me to checkups and all that. And one day, I was sleeping. You know, no one has ever asked me how I gave birth. Oh my God. Anyway, it's so weird that
we are asking now.
It's so weird that I go back to that. And then, so Monde we usually go out. He likes going out. Usually go out, come back around 12, 1 a.m. That night, he's like, I don't want to go out. It was a weekend. I was like, you sure? And I said, I don't want to go out. And then we went back to early. So I have a very big tummy gay when I fell pregnant. I was 6 months and I was going for 7. 6 months and 6.5, yeah. And then I was sleeping and he said, I woke up. I had this edge of going to the bathroom. I woke up, it was around 4 or 5, yeah, in the morning. And I was like, I need to go pee. After that, I didn't feel any pain. So as I was wiping myself, I saw, it was not blood, but it was something brownish. I was like, okay, I'm not in pain, but what's this? You know? I took a picture, sent it to my gynecologist. Lucky, he's awake. He responds immediately, come to the hospital. I'm like, but I'm not in pain. He said, quickly come to the hospital. Okay. Monday, doctor said I must come to the hospital.
What time was it?
Past 4 to 5.
In the morning?
In the morning.
Okay.
Then we quickly went to Busamet in Harrismith. When we got there, the doctor said, check me. And then he said, no, I need to admit you. And we need to stop the baby from trying to come out because you're still early. I was like, oh, okay. Are you in pain? No, I'm not in pain. So they gave me a drip the whole night. I stayed there. In the morning, doctor checked. He said, no, you're good. I'm like, okay, sharp. And then he said, I'm coming to discharge you. Let me attend other patients. He attended other patients. Then I took a bath. Monday's on his way. I took a bath quickly. I dressed up. I'm sitting like this. You know, I'm waiting for the doctor to just sign me out. And then I sneezed. After sneezing, I felt something is wet, like I'm too wet. Then I quickly went to the bathroom because it was a private room. Went to the bathroom. Whew, justice. I took my panties off. I'm not in pain. And when I took it off, blood. Now it's serious blood on top of my underwear. And I'm sitting like this, mind you. I'm sitting like this. Now I want to hold the baby from not coming out, but I'm not in pain. And now the blood is just coming out. And then I had in the bathroom. I thought it's my baby's head. No, when I looked, it's just the cloth. Then I had to put my hand here so that I prevent the head from coming. Now the emergency bell is there, but now I'm afraid to stand up. And then I was like, let me stand up. So my undies are just here. So as I stand up, the blood came out.
Crazy.
Like hell, justice. It was like somebody opened a tab. And then I forgot about the emergency button. I went to the door. So as I was opening the bathroom door, there's a sister who was coming inside. When she looked at me, she quickly said, come closer to me. Then she She also came closer to me. I was trying to come closer to her. She put me on top of the bed. She quickly pressed the emergency button, left me there, quickly called other nurses. They came. And that's all that happened at that time. That's all I remember. And I still have a video. And then Monde got there, right, when they were busy with me. Then there was just blood all over. And the doctor came. Like, what happened? I don't know. And he's like, what happened, Patricia? I'm like, no, I just sneezed. And this happened. And they asked if I'm in pain. I said no. And then they quickly took me to an emergency. Now, Justice, when I got to the emergency room, theater room, Monde is here. The doctor is telling Monde that they're going to deliver the baby because I'm losing a lot of blood. And then the doctor kept on. The same doctor who helped me with Liana is the same doctor that's helping me with our boy. I remember Liana's process. You know, when you give birth with C-section, they just grab your baby out. You know, they stitch.
Well, it's not a da-da-da-da-da. It's very painful, right? I don't know how it feels.
It's not painful to give birth.
It's complicated.
But to give birth with a C-section is not painful. What is painful is after, it's the operation end. You know, taking care of it and all that. So when you give birth, it's not painful because this part, you know, they just make it numb. So this is what happened with my son. It took hours and hours, and I said I was feeling pain here instead, and I said to Monde, something is wrong. Because he's standing here. I'm squeezing his hand. I'm like, something is wrong. So there's a sister here. She's like, what's wrong? I'm like, I'm feeling pain here. So I had the doctor. Now there are two doctors now. I don't know why. So the one that is trying, my gynecologist, I had him saying to this other doctor, it's difficult delivering this baby. But it's a C-section. So I felt pain. Then it was done, and then my baby was not crying. They called Monde. They left with Monde to the emergency ICU, and I was just there, and they did all the process, and then that was it. I went to my room, and then I slept, and then I remember waking up asking for my son. Monde was with him inside the ICU, and then Monde came. And then when we went I said I want to see him. When we got there, he was this small. And they said he can't breathe on his own. There was a lot of machines, you know, the oxygens and trust me, I didn't see anything wrong at that time.
Were you excited?
Yeah, he's a boy. He's a premature. But
Did
he
they
looks,
tell you?
Yeah. He's a premature. He looks healthy.
Okay.
I'm fine. They also don't see a problem yet.
Okay.
The very same day, later they call us. They say, guys, we're trying to feed your baby, but we are noticing that the food is not going through his tummy. The food is just going to his chest. So we have to quickly transfer him to Bloemfontein. We were like, okay, what could be the cause? They said, we're going to perform an X-ray right now. They did all the tests. They did the X-ray. Then they came to us with a drawing. Hi, guys, your son, we don't know what could be the problem, but the food just gets stuck here. So we don't know whether it's a blockage or not. So we don't have the bigger machines to get inside and check. So he's an emergency baby. He needs to get to Bloem, and he can't get to Bloem with an ambulance. He needs a helicopter.
Who's going to pay for the helicopter?
We have to.
How much is it?
It was expensive, just.
How much?
It was expensive. It was about 40,000.
About 40,000 to transport a baby.
To transport a baby there.
To Bloemfontein.
To Bloemfontein. I'm on a medical aid. He's not on medical aid. There's load shedding in Harrismith. Monde can't go and quickly get his birth certificate so that he can be on the medical aid. Medical aid, when we call them, they said we need the birth certificate, the ID number. Now he doesn't have it because there's load shedding.
That's so complicated.
Very complicated. Now we had to do it cash. They call helicopters, all helicopters that transport for the ambulance. There's specific helicopters are not available. They're busy. One is going to Nelspruit and. So this baby needs to get there. They're like, okay, ambulance. If the helicopter comes, you guys will get each other along the road, but ambulance. Now, the ambulance, because it's transporting the baby and the baby's not on the medical aid, they need cash. I paid 28,000
to transport a baby
to Bloemfontein.
From Harrismith.
Then Monde followed with his car. We went to Blom. He booked a hotel, and now they had to also discharge me because I want to go with my son and I'm still in pain. So usually after giving birth with a C-section, they discharge you 3 days after. With me, it was the following day. Went to Bloem. We got there. When they got to Bloem, they said, this baby's critical, ICU. 1 minute, they like, your baby needs an oxygen immediately. We'll tell you the results, what's going on with your baby. You know, when you walk inside, you see 5 doctors around your baby's bed. You're like, what's going on? Then they told me that they came and said to us, your baby doesn't have a tube that connects the food to the tummy. So his tube, you see this tube? This is a throat, right? So there's a tube, and apparently there's a tube from the throat, the small one, to the tummy. You see, sometimes when you eat, you feel like the food is just sitting here. That tube. So his was this short. It was not attached to his tummy.
Oh.
Yes. Yeah. So now what happened is it was this short. So the food goes here and then it goes through his chest. Then it spreads instead of going to his tummy.
It's not connected.
It's not connected.
Was there a way? Maybe, I don't know, maybe you can help. They can take out a couple of things in your body and then try to.
Unfortunately, connect. No, because there's only one. It's like a bone marrow.
Okay.
So it's only one, like with everybody. It's not something that they can take out and you still have.
Kidney,
it's not something that is double in your body. Okay. So they took him, and they said we have to do an operation so that he can be able to eat, but we can't do it now. We have to wait for a certain weight. So my son didn't eat for a month. He was on TPN. TPN, it's like a drip that gives you good fluids for your body to function. So he didn't eat. So he had the drip, the TPN for a month so that he can gain a bit weight before they can perform this surgery. So me and Monde, we booked a hotel in Bloem and we stayed there. Now we're busy trying to fix the certificates because he went to Bloemfontein, but he didn't go to a private hospital in Bloemfontein. It's a public hospital. And then after 7 days, after we fixed the birth certificate, then he was admitted to Rose Park, Life Rose Park, something like that, hospital in Bloem. When he got there, they did other tests. They realized it's like that. The way my son was so sick just this, I thought maybe I'm HIV positive. And maybe I was not drinking pills, and maybe I didn't see that my son is now affected because I couldn't understand what's going on. I was doing HIV tests every week, thinking maybe it will reveal, because I thought something might happen with me. Yeah. So I did HIV tests to such an extent my doctor said, Patricia, don't do that. It's not your fault. There's nothing wrong with you. Your blood system is okay. Everything is fine. Your son just happened. He was not fully developed.
Did they not explain what could be the cause of him being like that?
In South Africa,
drank something or I don't know. It's a family thing,
It's not genetic. It's not a genetic thing. In South Africa, they said it was their first time experiencing that. My son became a case study in hospital.
So he was the only
child
in South Africa, possibly Africa, who had that
condition. My son, doctors would sit in a board meeting to discuss my son's condition. Doctors would sit down and ask themselves, what's the next step?
Yeah.
To such an extent, they will even call us when they're in Zoom calls with other doctors from other countries. There was one doctor who could have helped my son. He's in the US. And for him to come this side, it was close to 600 and something thousand, just the call-out fee. Not the treatment, not his work. Call-out fee for him to come to South Africa. And he couldn't give, he did assist anyway by trying to explain to the other doctors. They would talk, discuss.
Yeah.
So we would get calls like, guys, you need to be in this Zoom meeting at this time. We would get calls, guys, come now. We are in Harrismith. We have to quickly come now to Bloemfontein so that they can discuss. Every operation that my son had, they had to discuss it with us. So they decided to open his tummy here and put a PEG tube. And we'd just take a syringe and just press the milk there so it won't get there. And that's it. They had to open him here so that because his saliva now was going down, but it was blocking him here and giving him a chest problem. So the saliva now, when he swallows, it will come out from here. So they had to open here. So every time we bought this small bandages, we have to put it here. It was getting wet every now and then. Take it out, put it. So we'd have to buy in bulk bandages so that we always wipe him because he would get wet and he would catch flu. So we lived with the PEG tube for 3 months. And after some time, he got discharged. It was hell between me and Monde at that time. We both want the best for our child, but we're fighting amongst each other. The other one feels like the other one is not feeding the baby right. The other one feels like the other one is not feeding the baby right. So now we are fighting amongst each other. Sometimes we'd apologize, sorry for talking like that. So it was frustrating. Our nanny, God bless that woman. I don't care what happens. I don't care.
What's her name?
Bongiwe.
Okay, yeah.
I don't care what happens. I don't care what she can do to me. I don't care. But she played a very big role in my life when it comes to my kids. She did her job. One point, I was sleeping because she would see I'm tired. I was sleeping. So I didn't want anyone to touch my baby. I was too sensitive. I was sleeping. She took my baby. So every time I feed my baby, she would see how I do it. She took my son. So she had a room outside. She went to a room, she fed my baby, she did this, she bathed him, she did that. And I overslept. So I don't know whether Monde gave me some sleeping tablets or she did.
Yeah.
So because they could see I'm having a fatigue now. I sleep. When I woke up, I jumped like my son, because I've been sleeping for some time and my son eats after 2 hours. Because you can only feed him from a certain amount. Now, when I jumped, I'm like, where's my son? Bongiwe, she's there feeding him. I was like, are you sure you're doing it right? She's like, I've been doing it since Ulele. From there, I was comfortable with her helping me out. Sure. Now she would sleep with him, we'd exchange. If the other one is tired, the other one. Yeah. She became a mother, she became a sister, she became a friend. Bongiwe is not an employee, man. She's a sister, Yeah. And she's human too. So whatever mistakes she might do, I would not concentrate more on that. I'll concentrate on the good that she did, to me and my kids. So we carried on. Now they had to do the first major operation. Is now pulling up his tummy, trying to connect it so that he can eat normal. We went to Bloem. They did the operation. Complications were there. He stayed for another month there. The funny part about my son, guys, I've never seen him cry.
He's been strong, eh?
That's why I don't understand, how did he pass away? I've never seen him cry. His first major operation, I remember, I still have a video. He was smiling. He was smiling and it was a major operation. And I said to him, but why are you smiling? He's in ICU. And now he's got a big machine so that he can breathe. And he's smiling. And I said to him, oh, you're awake? Because we waited for him to wake up. Like, oh, you're awake. He's having drips. Like, his body is full of wires, man, And he's smiling. Who? And we looked at each other with Monde. I mean, we were the one that were shattered, and he's just okay. And the doctors kept on saying, yo, what a strong baby you guys have. Okay? So for him to be strong, I realized that there's just something about him.
Yeah.
You know, he's fighting for this thing called life. And then, he did the op and he stayed. 3 months later, they call us. So we would travel. Every week we have to go. Every week we have to go. So we would travel. 3 months later, they call us, come pick up your son tomorrow. He's being discharged. Oh, we've never been that excited. When I'm stressed, I gain weight. So I was gaining weight like crazy. When I'm stressed, I gain weight. I don't know why. And then I remember it was my first time seeing Monde cry like that. When we got to the hospital and they say they're discharging him, Monde cried. Like, so he cried. I looked at him. I was like, oh, okay, he's crying. I was excited. Now he was crying. Now he's making me cry, you know?
Tears of joy.
Yeah,
Tears
he was
of
like,
excitement.
finally, you know?
Yeah.
He was tired, but he had to be there for me. He couldn't show his frustrations.
Yeah.
So how he would show his frustrations, he would go out a lot. Go drink with his friends, come back drunk, make sure I'm okay, and then he sleeps. So that's how he would take out his pain. And then, we went to fetch him. So they said I must sleep there that night so that they can see if I'm able to feed him, you know. So I had to sleep at the hospital. I slept there. In the morning, at night, he's uneasy. He's shaking, you know.
The following day after the discharge?
No, same day.
Same day?
Before they discharged us, they said I must sleep at the hospital so that they can monitor if I can feed him. So Monday books a hotel, he sleeps there. I'm at the hospital.
So they had to teach you how to feed him
how
and
to
stuff
feed
like that.
him.
Okay.
Even though they did the pull-up, but you feed him slowly because it still hurts. The op still hurts inside. You have to feed him slowly. But he can only eat crushed food, you know, liquids. But at that time, he was not eating anything solid. It was just liquid, which is milk. Now, at night, he's turning and tossing. I'm like, let me bath him. I wake up, I bath him. Then I put him to sleep. So now my son would sleep just here, sleeping. In the morning, the sisters come, they check, okay, everything's fine, shop, signing papers to discharge. Then I'm like, let me change his name because I won't be able to change his name on the way. That's a long road. As I opened his nappy, blood all over his nappy. He's not even crying.
Sure.
I quickly called the nurse. When she came in, when she saw that, they took me out of the room. Now the room is full of nurses. The room is full of doctors. We're back to square one. On discharge day, they quickly ran. You know your baby's bed just passing by. ICU. Monday gets to the hospital. Baby's back in ICU. What's happening? I tell him. He's like, okay, now I don't know what to do. They take him to the ICU. You know when they try to wake someone up, you hear, they did that. He literally left.
So you could hear that?
I could.
Maybe a distance away from the
ICU. Because they chased us out of inside the ICU. They said we must get out. And they closed the curtains. So you could hear the doctor saying, 1, 2, you know.
You're very strong.
They did that like more than 3 times, one session, and you can hear them say, okay, let's wait, let's try it again. Guys, you'd hear the doctor say, guys, let's do it. We can do this, you know.
So your son went from smiling as you were changing his nappy to now he's being waken up.
Meaning he was dead. They're trying to wake him up. They did that. We waited for an hour outside. Then they took us to the waiting room. We waited. I remember we prayed. I was like, Monday, let's pray. And We prayed, but our prayer was not strong. We were too weak. And an hour later, the doctor was wearing glasses and he came. He came in the waiting room. He sat like this and he took his glasses out and he was like, guys, he's awake. We were like, was he even sleeping? Because he didn't tell us that he left us for a moment. It's like, your son did leave us for a moment. We tried. We brought him back. He's responding to the oxygen. And he's on the high level of oxygen. But at least he's responding. We're like, can we see him? They said, yeah, we're just busy with him a bit. We'll see him. When we got there, you can see that he's not here. He's here because of the machine. If you switch the machine off, he's gone. Now, they're no longer discharging him. Now, Monde has to book again at the hotel for the both of us now. Because if your baby's in ICU, you don't sleep at the hospital. There's no bed for you in ICU, the kids' ICU. So we booked. We stayed in Bloem again for a week. So our expenses now were a lot. We're booking a hotel every week. We're traveling to Bloem every week. But at least baby's now on medical aid.
Did the medical aid maybe at some point drop you? Because I know they've got a limitation, or maybe you guys had like a premium option.
We had the premium option, but it also gets to that level. It gets to that level. My son stayed in hospital for 2 years. When he passed away, he was 2 years and 5 months. So he 5 months he was okay. He was in and out of hospital, but 2 years full in hospital. So, finally we took him home. Then we moved to Joburg. He stayed with us for 2 weeks. And when we got to Joburg, he became critical. Then we rushed him to the nearest hospital, which was Senton Mediclinic. He stayed in Senton Mediclinic forever. His doctor was Dr. Flack, which became a mother to him. My son could literally only speak English because his full-time person is white and is the doctor, Yeah, and the nurses would speak Zulu with him, but obviously they're in their English. But yeah, Dr. Flack, when we got to Joburg, he now started from being okay to being the worst kid ever, he stayed in hospital. My son had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. He had 7 operations. And every week you are called to come sign. He's going to theater. He stayed in hospital until they couldn't drip him anymore. They couldn't drip him. He didn't have veins. They couldn't drip him anyway. They would cut his hair every 2 weeks to look for a vein there, nothing, his feet, nothing. Literally, they couldn't drip him anymore. So they had to put a CVP line, which is inside, putting a hole inside. They could only do that in theater. So every week, after 7 days, he had to change the CVP line. So he would go to theater every week. Every week you sign a consent form. They have to put him to sleep to perform that. Dr. Flack did his best. Did her best. The sisters at the hospital, I could name them, Maputi, Nwabo, Sister Macy. All of them, man, they were Monde's mothers. The doctor was Monde's mom, dad, everything, Dr. Flack, Dr. Hohenberg. Monde had many doctors. He had a dietitian, he had a physio, he had a lot, And then they ended up gathering together, trying to find solutions. Now he was eating through this tube from his nose. He couldn't eat from here anymore, from his nose. He became a very bubbly child, Now they took him to rehab in Netcare, where he could learn how to walk, eat, and all that. Funny enough, his body was okay. When doctors did a brain check, they said, you know, when a doctor sits down with you and say, this is a miracle baby, because we can spot things in his brain, but he's not disabled. He should have been disabled because his brain inside, we see dots inside, but he's not disabled. And this is a miracle. The doctor would say that to you. And we looked at each other, and Monde was okay. He was responding to everything. Monde was fine. There's no disability that they could give him. But he had a big file like this.
Sure.
A big file. Like Monde had a big file like this.
So he didn't have any other disease?
No, nothing. They did blood tests every week. That's why in the doctor's speech was like, no more blood tests for you, son. He did blood tests every week.
So the only thing that they needed to sort out was just the tube.
They did insert a tube, but remember, it's not as narrow as ours.
Yeah.
It's not the bone one. It was a tube. It was weak.
Muscle.
Yeah. So they did, and then it bent, and then it blocked again. Now they pulled his tummy. My son's tummy was not here, but you were not going to see. My son's tummy was underneath his heart. So they had to shift it underneath his heart. That's why now he was eating every after 2 hours slowly. He would eat every after 2 hours, but for an hour.
So they needed to bring his tummy under
closer to his heart so that when the tube can
connect.
The tube from his nose can go straight there. So as he's growing older, his tummy is growing, his heart is growing. Now there's this small space between his heart and his tummy. Now when he breathes, the heart pumps, the thingy, what's this? The tummy gets big. Now the space becomes this small.
So at some point they touch each other.
They touch each other.
So it makes it to be uncomfortable.
And it makes him difficult to breathe. So after eating, he'll be like,
because the food now is
full and is going to be attached to the heart.
So that's why you need to be careful in terms of the amount of food that you feed him.
And now he was allergic to milk. And that's the only thing he could eat, milk. Now, when you feed him, when you buy food for him, you have to check the food, the purity must not have milk. It mustn't. It must have allergies, it must say none. And milk, he would only drink Neocate. Neocate, it has prebiotic, whatnot, all the nutritions that he needs. And Neocate only has this small amount. When we first started buying Neocate, it was 550. Lately, it was 650. And that small tin lasts for 2 days with him because of how he eats. And so, meaning you spend 650 every after 2 days for your son, milk alone, not other things. His prescription after 2 weeks, we have to go see the doctor. His prescription is like this.
Yeah.
And it will cost close to 10,000-15,000. His milk, his medication. You know, he had needles, he had asthma, he had you name it. Every disease you can think of, he had it.
Do me, how much did you spend though?
A lot, Justice.
You know, for a normal parent, they would say, no, I spent like 8,000 for my kid.
No.
You know, 10,000 for my kid.
No, Justice. I spent a lot. I spent a lot, I spent a lot, and it was okay. My son's life.
It was out of love.
Yeah. His life was he showed me my capabilities. I worked hard. I remember I would sometimes play at a gig and it was just, I remember at one point I was playing and everything went blank. I couldn't see. It was fatigue. And I told my manager, I was like, I can't see. And I have to play the next song. He took water and he just did that to my face. And then I was like, shoo. And then.
Papa means.
Yeah. Because I have a problem of eating. I'm not a person who likes eating. So, especially if I work, I just want to work. So he was like, you better wake up. So I lied about the stock suite thing. The stock suite was to give me energy. I said it was stage fright. No, it had to give me
PR.
Yeah.
Okay.
It had to give me energy because I was going through the most at that time. And food was not, I couldn't digest it. I couldn't eat. So, yeah, oh God. At that time, I was going through the most and it was okay, man.
But what were you running to? I mean, like Monde used to go out with his friends, drinking and having fun, trying to ease the pain. What were you doing? Is that the reason why you went to DJ so that you can just, listen to music, play for people, just your mind to get off, from that situation?
I don't want to lie and say that and say yes. No, I when it comes to DJ, I would get booked at gigs just to show face. Then I took that advantage. I was like, let me do something about that. Then I started the DJ career. I won't lie and say I did that so that I can ease my mind or put food on the table. No, it was for that. It was that reason. But it worked for me because I found comfort for some reason. I found comfort and I loved it. Being a DJ is a skill, and I learned the skill and I fell in love with the craft. Now I love it. I love it so much. So, that happened for such a long time. And Sandton Mediclinic is expensive. I think it's one of the most expensive.
That's why I was asking how much.
It was one of the most
did you
expensive
spend?
hospitals in SA, I think.
Yes.
After that, I had to work 10 times extra. And I did that. And I've got amateurs, I've got initiates, I've got businesses that I have to take off. I've got my life that I need to take care of. I've got kids that I adopted I need to take care of. I've got a home. Yeah. So I did that. I did all that. And then, he stayed in Sandton Mediclinic for quite some time.
Yeah.
Medical aid said, dude, we can't help you anymore. This is our last stop. No funds for you. When they say no funds for me, my son has to take some Synergies, which he had to take for 3 dosages. Each dosage is 32,000, something this small. The doctor said my son can't take any antibiotics anymore. No antibiotic is taking his system. So his system is now used to antibiotics, even the high antibiotics. So that Synergies, he had to take it. Each costed 32,000. So you have to say 32,000 times 3.
That's like 90,000, eh?
Yeah. And some guy came. My son was literally, the hospital was his home. The cleaners were, he had a dance that he knew people's voices. He would literally cry if he sees the doctor passes by or hear the doctor's voice. He said, doctor? He learned, but he would speak English, but yeah. And it got to a point, because even his speech therapist was white, And it got to a point whereby some guy who wanted to be anonymous came to the hospital and donated for the Synergies. They say he's white. He was a patient. His son was a patient there, and he fell in love with Monde, and he wanted to pay for the Synergies. And he wanted to be anonymous. Till this day, I don't know him. Whoever he is, I don't know how to thank him. Or her. I don't know.
How much?
The 90,000. He paid it. And then my son got the Synergies. And then the rest, I had to pay cash just. And there are certain government hospitals which are very good, I don't want to lie, but what my son needed, they didn't have.
Did you not ask for medical help in terms of funding, from the government?
I didn't.
Because the government hospitals, they couldn't help him, only private hospitals, they could only take care of him and sustain him.
I didn't. I just worked hard, I didn't. I don't have people, I don't talk to anyone. I talk to myself and God. And that's it. I don't talk to anybody.
You're Gogo Skhotheni. You're connected, man.
Yeah, I don't use my connections.
You were with Sir Ramaphosa.
I don't want to lie to you. The ANC came fourth
Okay.
And when they came forth, it was after my son was okay. I think it was only when they followed my story. And when they came forth, and fortunately, my son was discharged. And I was like, he's discharged, he's fine. I didn't sit down with them and tell them, I've got medical bills that I have to pay. I didn't. I lied to them. I said, it's fine.
Because your son was okay at the time.
Yeah. And I did not mention the bills that I still had to pay.
Are you that kind of a person that you don't want to, be a burden to people?
I'm not used to it. I don't know how to ask.
You'd rather work for yourself?
Yeah, I've never even asked pets from my mom.
Okay.
I've been working from grade 11. I started working when I was doing grade 11. So I don't know how to ask. I don't want to lie to you. I don't know. So yeah, it happened. We're in Joburg now. My son is okay. He got discharged. A week before his passing, he was just offish. And then we're like, okay, Monde is weird. Let's take him to the hospital.
Yeah.
We took him to the hospital. His doctor was like, Monde is weird, but I don't know why he's weird. So my son, this tube, you have to change it every after 2 weeks. You have to change his tube every after 2 weeks. His machine, he eats through a specific machine. He has a specific milk, specific food, all that. My nanny is there. I didn't have a choice, Justice. I couldn't be there for my son physically, because if I'm there physically, there's no income that will get in, and that means he won't have everything that he needed medically. So I had to be on the streets. When I come back, it's 3 a.m. He's sleeping. I can only be a mother 2 to 3 hours. During the week, I have to be a sangoma.
Yeah.
Weekend, I have to be a DJ. And all that I have to do because he needs everything. So a part of me feels like if I was there physically, still, I was not going to help him. That was not going to help, So I had to do something. I had to work for him. I worked. And my nanny was there for him as well. So when he got discharged, admitted a week before, doctor said, you know what, let me keep Monde for a day and see what's wrong with him. They did tests, they couldn't find anything. There was a point whereby they said my son is depressed. My son didn't want you to touch his hand because he thought you are going to inject him with something. Oh. So he was very sensitive with his hand. Yeah. When you touch his hand, he would jump quickly. He pull out. He didn't want you to touch his hand. He didn't want to touch his head. He didn't want you to touch his feet, because that's where most of the times they would inject him. So he didn't want you to touch his body. My son, he couldn't bath. Remember, he was in ICU, so they'll just wipe him all the time. So when he gets home, when you bath him, he would cry. He would cry, like cry.
Because he's not used to it.
He's not used to it. But my nanny would just bath him anyway. So a week before he got admitted, after being admitted, they checked, and nothing was wrong with him. So when they discharged him, the following day, I fetched him. He was so happy. He was happy. I've never seen my son that happy. He was always a happy child, but he was too happy. And I remember when I was walking and I took a video, I said, and then Rena, what am excited so? And then he jumped. Mama. That's how he called me. Oh, so he would make me feel like he's my man for some reason, because like his voice was deep, Mama. Like, Monde, what's wrong? So I called him Boyo anyway, not Monde. Because when I said Monde, I felt like I'm calling the dad. Yeah. So I would like, Boyo. And I fetched him, took him home, later went to a gig. He was too excited. And that day, my ancestors said, your son is leaving. I called his dad. I said, Baba Kaliana, your son is too excited. And he's not going to live long. He said, ay, Mama Liana uqalile. Ay, anyeke. Hey, akume kancane ngalinto zakho. Baba Liana, I've never seen my son like this. He's not going to make it. He said, but he's not sick. I'm like, he's not sick. He's healthy. He's at his healthiest level. But this is too scary for me. He said, why ungafuni ukubona umntana ejabulile? I was like, it's not like that. I'm not meaning it like that. He's happy, yes, but he's going. And then I came back from my gig, came back home. We stayed for a week. My nanny took a leave. He went home for just a weekend. So I was with him. Then Friday, I had gigs Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I said, I walked inside the house. I went to do my hair. When I walked inside the house, something in me said, don't cancel all these gigs. I canceled. I bought nice food. I wanted a home cooked meal. I said, guys, let's cook. I want to eat with my kids. I just want to be happy with my kids. We bought veggies. We cooked. We sat together. We made noise. House music on. Everything was fine. And then I said to them, I need to refund all these gigs. We did that. I said, I just want to spend time with my kids. They were like, why? I'm like, I don't know, but I just want to. We spent time. And I remember I was sleeping with him. I was putting him here. I woke up and I felt he's cold. I was like, why is he this cold? I'm feeling hot.
What time was it?
It was around 12.
Okay.
Why is he this cold? Then I put more blankets. Then he was cold and he was looking at me, not even crying. So the more I put blankets, the more cold he gets. Woke up 5:30 in the morning, took a walk, asked my helpers, because I've got 3 people in the house, to just look after him. I'm coming. I took a walk. I came back. When I came back, I looked at him. I was like, he's still cold. He's not crying. He's okay. But he did something that he has never done. He drank a whole bottle of water with his mouth without the tube. And he was sucking it. Something that he's never done. And then I'll send you the screenshot so that you can show it here. I'm still a Sangoma, right? I still have Amatwaza initiates. But I have someone who's handling all that department, which is Nontlantla. She's doing a very good job. I call, I said, you know what? Because I'm at the house and just check. I'm about to lose my son. She was like, Baba, stop it. I'm like, lahla mathambo lap and send me a picture. She said, okay. She sent me a picture. I was like, my son is gone. He's there. He's breathing. He's okay. I said to one of my helpers, Domtandazo, please dress him up quickly. I'm also dressing up. I'm taking him to the hospital. I called the ambulance. When I called the ambulance, obviously they had to ask the patient's name. So when they clicked, they could see his file. They're like, shit, this is a critical baby. Ambulance on the way. Now, I remember holding my son, getting out of the house. Ambulance is not there yet. I was running like a crazy person towards the ambulance. I was like literally, ambulance. And I got inside the car. And we got inside the ambulance. Ambulance quickly came. We got inside. And I put him there. And oxygen, they could see. And I was like, my son is too cold, guys. When we got to the hospital, he got there. Nolwazi, I think she's Jazzy Q's manager. So we are close, me and Nolwazi. She called me. Oh, before she called, my son was the doctor. Now they're doing the thing again. I went out of the room. I came inside again. I looked at him and I said, are you tired? Then I said, it's fine if you're tired. I think it's time I accept that you are tired. There was a point in my life I said, God, I keep on asking you to give my son more life, but I think I'm selfish because if he's tired, why am I forcing? And I said, let your will be done. Immediately there in hospital, I said, God, as I looked at my son, I said, if you're tired, tell God I said it's okay. And he just looked at me. And I went out. When I went out, I stayed at the waiting room. I was with one of my initiates. And we could hear them fighting for him to wake up. And then they called me. I said, why are you calling me? And they said, please come. I said, he's gone there. They said, please come. I said, okay. Went there. When I got there, they said, please come say your goodbye. Your son is 5'2" to go. I said, okay. I got there. I knelt down. And I said to the doctors, can I pray? They said, okay. I prayed. I didn't pray for him to wake up. I prayed for peace. I said, may he, if I was not a mother enough, I'm sorry. I don't know what could I have done. This was not a witchcraft. No sangoma can give my son a bone. This was not witchcraft. Was not a punishment. It was a natural medical course, and it's okay. I prayed and I told God to give me peace and to welcome him and for him to be a guardian angel over our lives. And I prayed. After praying, when I stood up, I nearly fell because I was now, I think I lost it. And I started crying. So Nolazi called. When she called my I think she was just calling like, I don't know. I don't remember if I called her or what happened. Then I started crying and she was like, what the F is going on? And my initiate took the phone. They directed each other. In 5 minutes, Nolazi and Mr. Jezik were there. And when they got there, the mortuary was already there because at the hospital they said they don't have a fridge for small kids.
Yeah.
So the mortuary was there, and my son was wrapped with the white thingy. They closed him already. So I couldn't see that this is Jezik or this is Nolazi. My head was just everywhere. And when Jezik came, he came from behind. So my son's body was... So Jezik was lost because when he came, he was like, shit, umzimba. Just passed. Yeah. Then I was running to grab my son's body, and Nolwazi and Jezik just grabbed me and gave me a big hug. 2 people that I never thought would be there were there. And yeah.
I wanted to ask you, where's Monde now?
Monde was in Harrismith.
Okay.
And they both gave me a big hug. Shoot, I'll never forget them.
Excuse me.
They both gave me a big hug. And it's 2 people I never thought will ever be there for me for anything. Jay-Z gave me a hug like a brother. And they wanted to call Monde, and I said no, they shouldn't, because I'm not sure what is he doing at the moment. We had to call Monde's friend so that he can deliver the news. He said, I can't. I'll go there. Call me guys when I go to him. And the rest, I don't remember what happened. Lolo came, and when they got there, and some other people in the industry that I can't mention came immediately at the hospital. I can't mention due to
their privacy.
Yeah. I don't know if I did right by mentioning Jezik and Nolwazi, but I don't think they will mind.
But shout out to them, man.
Yeah, I don't even think they understand what they did there for me. Because no one has ever been there for me when it comes to my son from the beginning. Nobody. Because I never spoke about him. I don't like...
You always kept it low-key all the time.
Yeah. So when they did that, I don't know, dude. I don't know what will I ever do for them that will make it up, that will appreciate what they did.
Yeah, that reward wouldn't be enough.
No reward.
Yeah.
They don't. I don't think they understand that. I don't think they understand what they did at that time.
Yeah.
No, I don't think so. So I have to accept I'll never rest. When my son was born, a lot was said that he's like this causing Twalingai. A lot of Sangomas had a lot to say. Some were doing videos about it. And then they came back and said, my ancestors are punishing me through him. Joe, like, people spoke about my son from when he was born till now. He's gone. They still say some things. So I'll never rest.
But don't mind them to me, man. Like, you have to rest.
You can't not mind it. It's there. You can't. You can't. It's just you can't. It's there. I won't lie. I won't lie and say, I'm not minding it. It's there. And before my son passed away, I had so many deals that I did. TV deals, this, that. And you know when you have a TV deal, it's going to appear, you can shoot January, it can appear November.
Yeah.
So I'm ready to be attacked. Oh, she got these deals, look, she got these deals after her son's passing. So it's going to be, I signed so many deals and they're going to start showing now and it's going to be like, this is why I killed him so that I can gain this. And it's okay. It's fine. But I love God still. He gave me this because he knows I'm not going to fail. If he knew that I'm a failure, he was not going to give it to me. God didn't give anyone this journey because he knew that they were not going to save anyone or they were not going to talk about it. He gave it to me so that it can be testimony to save other people. Even though it hurts, but I love God because I know he has my back. So, not that I care what they say, but it hurts because they don't know how my son suffered. They don't know how I'm suffering right now. I can't sleep because I miss him. I don't question why he's not there, but I miss him. I miss him so much.
It's okay, man.
Like, I miss him so much. But maybe he's at peace. I don't know.
It's okay, man.
No, it's not okay. Whew. It's not okay. He's not going to come back. But at the same time, he's not in pain. So every time I think of crying, I feel like I'm disappointing him because he never cried. My son never cried. My son was stronger than me. My son never cried, guys. He never cried. So if I cry, I feel like I'm failing him because that's not who he was. And that's not what he would have wanted. Oh, just a lot happened. I lost everything, dude. I lost my houses. I lost my cars. I lost my marriage. And all that I lost was to keep up with his health. At the end of the day, he left.
But you did your best, don't you? You did your best.
But why did I lose all that for him to go, dude?
That's what a mother does, though.
Yeah, but why did he go after all that? Like I nearly sold all my assets. Luckily, as I was about to do the rest, he got discharged. But I lost it all. And people didn't know I lost it all because I don't post my assets. I don't post what I have and what I don't have. But I lost it all. I didn't have a car for a year. And people didn't notice that because I never posted my cars anyway. You know, I'm left with a small car that I bought long time ago. You know, long time ago before I even became who I am. So I lost it all. And some people were like, and all that. You know, now I went back to work. It's only been how many weeks now? 2 weeks since my son's passing. I went back to work. They don't know I can't sleep. His room, no one gets in his room in the house. Me and my nanny, we're going through the worst. We sleep, go dining room right now as I speak. We took the mattress, took it downstairs, we are sleeping there. We light a candle, we sleep there. The medical bills are still there. I thought they're gonna go because he's dead. They said, no, he was just a beneficiary. You are the main account holder, you're gonna still pay. So I'm still left with medical bills that I have to pay. So, I mean, what I can say is there's no situation that God can put me in that will shift my love or my faith. Even this one doesn't shake me. He can take everything, as long as he doesn't take himself away from me. That's all. Everything that he can take, he can bring back. But if he can leave me, he can't come back. And I don't want God to leave me. That's all. So I didn't want me and Monde to fix things based on what we are facing. It was not going to work. We had to fix things because we want to be there for each other, not because of what we are facing. He's also not coping. And I wish I was there for him. But unfortunately, because of us not being together, I can't. But he's not coping. He's not coping. Whew, now there's Liana. Now there are weird things happening in the house. Liana plays and he says he's playing with Boyo. And you could see she's playing with someone. And after 30 minutes or so, she'll be like, how? You are leaving Boyo, where are you going? And we let him do that. We let her do that. When we start taking our phone to record what she's doing, that's when she'd start saying, boy, where are you going? So I feel like phone is not needed when that happens. I don't know what's going on, but Liana does that. So last week, I went to buy clothes for Liana and I bought clothes for him as well. My helper went to the mall and I called her and I said, boy.
You had to buy the milk.
Now that he's gone, I'm still doing that. I forget. He's not there. I bought his clothes last week. I was buying clothes for Liana. Then I went to the boys section as well to buy clothes for him. And I'm not talking to anybody. I don't want to lie. Abutulolo, the comedian, is reaching out.
Yeah.
Nolwazi is still reaching out. Jazzy Q is still reaching out. TK Goldish is still reaching out. Tabiso Mkhete is still reaching out. Lolo is reaching out. I do have people who are reaching out. I'm the one who just shuts the door because I don't want to talk about it. Now I'm just talking about it just to make people understand how he's passing and how his life was. But I don't talk about it. I don't talk about how I feel. I don't want to talk about what I'm going through. But it's not permanent.
It's temporary.
It's temporary. I'm gonna look back one day and like I looked back when he was sick and say, you know? So, yeah, I went to his grave Saturday, and for the first time when I came back, I slept. Now I'm back not to sleeping again. Sleeping tablets. They're not working. Nothing works, but I'm okay. Yeah. I'm okay, I guess.
You know, I think you've got the most important people around you.
Yeah.
I think you're not alone.
Oh, shit, my family is also reaching out. My dad has been trying to reach out, but I'm not answering his calls. Because I don't want to talk. You know, I don't want to talk about it. No. So my dad calls, he reaches out. My entire family actually is trying to reach out. And I'm the one who's not opening my heart or the door for them to get in and be there for me.
But I think you're doing good. I think you're coping.
I am.
Yeah, I think you're doing way, way much better.
Yeah, I don't think he's gonna like it when I cry. He was not a crybaby.
Yeah.
He was not. So yeah, people are asking if I'm really it's okay. It's their opinion. It's their
You
opinion.
mustn't care about what people say, man, to me. People, whether you do good or bad, people are always going to talk, man.
Yeah.
People, I don't know. I think you spoke about an anonymous who paid for your medical bills at some point, 90,000. None of the people that are talking there,
Did
they
that.
actually helped you. They donated to help you. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Unless if maybe people actually did donate to help your son, and now they're
Yeah.
talking, that was going to be understandable. But even myself, I can't say anything. I just have to keep quiet and support you and mourn with you. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So people are forever going to talk, whether you like it
True.
or not.
True. It was a tough journey.
And it's so crazy. You're reminding me of something. The time when we were at the funeral, the guys were doing the live stream, and you broke down so crazy, man. And people in the comment section were coming out and saying, "Yeah, cameraman, you're disappointing us." You know, people just wanted to see you being vulnerable. You know what I mean? So those are some of the people that actually want to see you fall. And I feel like it's unfair, man. You're not perfect, but at that moment, we really need to give you that privacy. Do you know what I mean?
There's some guy from my hood by the name of Sihle. So that guy is always on my case. I don't know why. He doesn't like me. And
From
it's okay.
Harrismith?
No, from Ember.
Oh, okay.
He doesn't like me,
Yeah.
right? And it's okay. It's okay. And I don't want him to like me. You understand? I don't know why. I've never had any problems with him. I know nothing about him, so he doesn't like me. So he once wrote on his wall that Skhotheni, he always writes about me. And I don't respond. It's okay, man. Yeah, well. So he once wrote and say, Skhotheni, ngizothwala ngalo mntanakhe ogula njalo. Dude. What he wrote it on his wall.
On Facebook.
On Facebook. And I don't respond.
Did he tag you so that you can see it?
Yeah.
Hey.
People mentioned me. He said, Skhotheni ngizothwala ngalo mntanakhe ogula njalo. And then a few weeks later, my son passed away. Then he had the nerve to share and say condolences. So why condolences? Then he said condolences. That's one guy. That's one guy I will not forgive in my entire existence. Anything that he can say about me, it's okay. That's one guy I will not, in my entire existence, let him go. In my heart. He'll forever be here.
What do you say to people that they're commenting on social media and they're saying, uthwale ngalo mntwana, and that's the reason why he passed on.
I've got nothing to say. I've got nothing to say.
Yeah.
What can I say? It's what they see. It's their opinion. Their opinion doesn't mean it's the truth. Believe in me, with what I'm about to do and with what I'm about to receive, they're still going to say that, even in 5 years to come. And it's okay. What should happen now? Should I be broke because my son passed away? I had my phase whereby I lost a lot of things. Whatever that I still have under my name, it's by God's grace, because I was this close to let go of everything. I'm not going to be poor so that I can satisfy them. I'm going to continue being who I want. I'm going to continue going after my goals. I'm going to continue being rich.
But to me, when people attack you, eh? Yo, man, that's the BBL, man.
Dude.
Yo, man, like...
It's a lot.
Your BBL is not looking nice. Your DJing is whack. How do you deal with this? Sure.
I think I've got a backbone and I've got a foundation. And when I keep on talking about God, people think I'm lying. Guys, not God loves me. God loves me. He loves me because I love him. He loves me because I made him my foundation. So I understand if something happens to me, I understand my go-to person. And if God says, I've got your back, go. God can take me to the lions and I know they won't bite me. They won't. All those that are talking this shit, they've got kids too. And I don't want them to lose their kids. Even this Sihle guy, I don't want anything to happen to him.
Or to his kids.
I still need him. I need that guy.
I mean, I'm too sad.
No, I need that guy. That guy, I need him. I'm telling you.
How do you need him? To continue to talk?
Yeah, I can even build a cinema for him so that he can make a movie about me and say all those things. I need him. And I need him alive.
I mean, I'm too sad.
He better not stop. He better continue. You know what he said about me? That's shit. That's nothing. People can't say a lot of things about me, so they had to go about my son. That shows I'm the shit. You've got nothing to say about me. When I went broke, nobody saw I went broke. When I sold my house, when I sold my cars, nobody saw shit. Nobody saw anything. Because I always put a smile on my face. I'm the shit, Justice. God loves me. And you cannot tell me any otherwise. And that's what happens. When you are God's child, even when you fall, you don't fall on the ground, Justice. You fall on his hands. When I fell on top of God's hands. That's why I went up. That's why I went up so quickly. Because I fell on top of his hands. My life is like I'm wearing white clothes. So when I fall, God makes sure that I don't fall on the ground so that I don't get dirty. So he didn't have so much to say about me. He had to talk about my son. And my son passed away as a pure soul. He will fight for himself. I'm not going to do anything. I want him alive. He better not pass away. He better live.
Wherever way he is,
No. He's not going to be scared. According to him, he's not going to be scared. And I don't want him to be scared. Who am I?
What is he? Is he also a sangoma?
He's nothing. He's just I don't know. I don't want to say anything bad about him. He's a human being from Kokas. Never fucked him. I don't know anything about him. Whatever he knows about me, it's what he picks up from the streets. He knows. That's why I'm saying nobody's going to say shit about me. That's why they had to come for my kids. Because there's nothing to say about me. They'll try to plot and talk about my initiates and whatnot. They don't get to the bottom of the story. Come out and say something. Something that I did. Now I'm a daughter of God. I'm a child of God, Justice. I fear God. I calculate my steps. When I do something, I feel like God is watching me. If I'm about to do something snacks, I feel like God is watching me, I would have to stop. Because justice, I understand that God can literally do anything in a space of a minute for something that you worked for in 5 years. I understand God's power. So I'm not gonna be blindfolded by izinto zasemhlabeni. So I need Sihle alive. I don't need his apology. I've already set him free in my heart, but he'll forever be here. No, he'll forever be. And a few people that publicly spoke about my son.
Oh, it's not only him.
Nah, who are making videos. I need them alive. A movie is about to play. And I'm not a person who threatens people. Yeah. I'm not gonna threaten people and say, "Yeah, I was born. I'm not mad. I'm not crazy." He's gone. He couldn't fight for himself because he was alive. He's gone. He'll do all the job for me. I don't know. Nanga's next. I'm not gonna do anything. They were doing live videos. They were doing videos and say, "Yeah, that's why." It's not. I'm not gonna do anything.
It's not worth it, man.
I'm not. Believe in me, just. I'm not gonna do anything. This is the universe.
What are you trying to say? What goes around comes around?
No.
Okay.
Even give clever kuyakhalwa justice. Give clever la kuyakhalwa. Kamhlaba la justice. La? Let's watch and see. They better not experience what I experienced because they're not gonna cope. They'll hang themselves. If they go through what I went through, they'll hang themselves. I understand why God gave me this. Not because I'm strong, because he knows I know him. Therefore, I'll not question him. And I'll not hang myself. I'm not going to die in the justice. Not now. I'm not going to hang myself because of what I'm going through. I know my Redeemer lives. I trust the process, justice. If God wanted this to happen to me, for me to teach the next person, or for my life to be someone's testimony, or for someone to give themselves to God, or to give their lives to God because of me, it's okay. If I have to win, if my life has to win souls so that I go through pain for someone to be saved, it's okay. If I'm doing it for God, justice, it's okay. If I lost my son so that my life can be, and God shows off, with me. When he's about to bless me, he shows off. Look at what is happening. Before my son passed away, I was trending like shit. And then boom, that cloud came. Let me show you something, Justice. It's just that you guys think I'm acting clever. And I'm not. That's what you guys will think, right? And I'm not. You see where I'm going now? Where's the camera? Okay, I want notes, right? Yeah. I'm going to my notes, right? Where's the camera? Here.
This is the camera here.
Okay, I'm going to my notes. You see? I want to show you something. I want to show you. I want to show you something. You see when this happened, ne? So this happened. I want to close it. I want to close this. I started trending, right? And people said, what? I did what? Ngabi sonto ngumamfundisi ngenzani. What, right?
What were you doing there?
I was motivating. I was not preaching.
So it was it a church?
Yes.
Okay.
It was a church. And I'd like to thank them for inviting me there, for not criticizing who I am. Okay. All right. I need this. So what I like about notes wagu iPhone, when you write something, it shows the date. Right?
Yeah.
It shows when did you do that. I'll show you. I'll send it to you. But what I'm saying is, I'm not gonna be shaken by whatever that I'm currently facing. I'm not. I am not gonna doubt God. I am not going to say God is doing this because of something that happened to me. Or no, I'm not. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. I'm not.
Sure. Yeah, nah. Yeah, you've been through a lot, man.
Yeah.
You've been through a lot. Jeez, man. Sure.
It's been hell. It's still hell, but I'm not giving up.
And we wish you nothing but strength, man.
Thank you, just.
We wish you nothing but strength.
For everyone that is trying to be there for me, guys, it's not like I don't want you guys to be there for me. I'm just not the person who speaks up. I think even for me, when I had to do this interview, it was, yeah. It was not easy for me to do this interview, but I just wanted to share what happened.
Yeah.
I'll send it to you. I don't know. I'll send it to you. I write a lot of things. I just write.
Yeah.
I just write a lot of things, but I'll send it to you. I'll show you, and I'll show you the dates and all that. So I write everything. Yeah, it's been hell.
Oh, man.
At the end, there's a reason I just don't know if I don't. Oh, okay. I'll write it. I'll send it to you. I'll also send you the pictures and I'll also send you everything.
Yeah.
I don't want anything to happen. People must not get me wrong and say I'm threatening people. No. I don't want anything to happen to everyone that has done me wrong or that has said anything wrong about my son. No. People have their own opinions and it's okay. And I just hate the ones that said something about him because he can't fight for himself. He's a son.
He can't answer for himself.
He can't answer. But he will answer now. Now. Nah, he'll answer now.
Some people are going to take that as a threat, man.
It's not a threat. It's a promise. Now he'll answer. Trust and believe. I'm not even in a hurry for him to answer. Dude, talk about me. Talk about my BBL that doesn't make sense. Talk about my fake calling. Talk about me being fake. Talk about me being broke. It's okay. What did Monde Jr. do to you? What did he do to you? Ufelani, ufela ukuthi umntanami. You guys didn't give my son peace as a pillar. Why come in and say condolences now that he's not there? Condolences to who? To me? I need to you hate me. So why give condolences now? To who? While you spoke about him that ngithwele ngaye, while you spoke about him ukuthi uzothwala ngaye. So what's the condolences for? Don't fuck with me like that. I'm not gonna do shit. I'm not gonna do shit to you. But he better fight for the things that he couldn't fight when he was alive. You guys didn't give my son peace. What did he do to you? Ufela ukuthi umama wakhe uSkhotheni. Fuck that shit. Fuck it. He's gonna fight. And I'm gonna help him and make sure that he does.
You see now.
No, helping him. I'm just gonna remind him the names. Kutela, Skalevala Sani.
Do me.
I'm not a witch. I'm a healer. That's why I let things be. I'm a healer. I'm a human being. They must live. They must not even lose their sons or their family members. No. They must not feel this pain. The pain that I'm feeling, they better not feel it. Relax. Skatata. Killing, life. They mustn't. God must not make them feel this pain. Relax.
In everything
that happened, guys, I just want to tell you, don't allow a situation to change who you are. Don't allow a situation to leave you miserable. Don't allow, you can lose your wife, you can lose your kid, you can lose your partner, you can lose whatever. Don't lose yourself. Wherever your loved ones are in their graves, they will not want you to lose yourself. Don't lose yourself. Soldier on. I wipe these tears. I'm going to be a mother to Leanna today. It's done. It's okay. Am I going to wake my son up when I cry? No. Am I going to lose myself when I keep on acting miserable? Yes, to me. You'll even lose your mind. Pick yourself up. Pick yourself up. You have another 10 years to live. So what's going to happen? Justice. Miserable for what? My son loved me. I loved him too. And we still love each other till today. He's gone. I'm not going to see him anymore. But he's with me spiritually. And it's okay. It's not okay, but it's okay. It's not okay, but it has to be okay for me. I need to soldier on, just. You understand? I have to. Even if Liana was not there, even if I didn't have other kids, I didn't have other responsibilities, I still had to be there for myself and show up for myself. This life is mine. No situation will make me doubt this life thing. I don't doubt God's love. I don't doubt my sisters. Hey Joe, I can lose it all. I don't doubt anything. And akuna witchcraft la. Hey Joe, no sangoma is bigger than my life. The life that God gave me. Which sangoma gave me life? Oh, yeah. So they don't have control over my life. No witchcraft is bigger than me, just this. Nah. You can scare me, you can do lightnings, you can have snakes and Joe. Not with me. Nah. Where will God be? When you're busy paddling there and doing shit about me, where will God be? He will just be sitting down and where will my inner spirit be? You can kill my outside, not my inner justice. How will you get to my inner strength while I've created such a relationship with God? God can love me even after I can get my hands dirty. That's the relationship I have with that man. God loves me even at my lowest. There's nothing. Joe, oka cross border wa ko Malawi. They'll tell you, I'm not that one. Not Joe, not with me. My son passed away because it was his time. It's not witchcraft. Trying to get on my inbox. Hey, Joe, there's no punishment. God did not punish me when he took my son.
What were they saying?
Yeah, I've been shown that you're going to lose your son. You need to repent. Repent my foot. Repent from what? Repent from what? Because I never lost God. Repent from what? What has been happening? What did I do while my son was sick? I was still kneeling down.
Are these sangomas?
Yeah, they're sangomas. Even some are pastors, Christian pastors. You understand? Trying now to prophesy me and shit. I always preach, never go to a sangoma when you're Jospec. They tell you exactly what you need to hear. If I were to go to a sangoma now, they're going to tell me someone took my son, someone did this. Now I'm going to rush into thinking this is an ancestral attack. I'm not attacked. No one is going to live forever. God knew that this day is going to come. It didn't happen because of something. The relationship that I have with God, I told him that my sins must not get into between our relationship. So there's no sin that I'm going to commit that will make God punish me in that way. This is not a punishment. It was my son's time. If you understand that there are certain things that happen in your life because it's time, it's not because of a certain things you do. There are things that I know that are happening because of my mistakes, but no. It was my son was tired. And it's okay. He was born that way, and it's okay. There's nothing we could have done. God knows why. And I don't even want him to answer me. I did my best. He saw me. My son saw me. It's fine. Your parents are not going to live forever. So if you lose your parents, God is punishing you. Stop giving witches credit. Stop giving Sangomas credit. You guys are giving us too much credit. That's why you guys will be broke and busy making us rich. Because you guys need sense of belonging. You guys are weak. You guys are the weakest points ever in this world. And the more you're weak, the richer the Sangomas become. Because you want an excuse of everything that is happening in your life. You want a reasoning of everything. Some things need to happen. And there are people outside, they don't have kids. And some of them, they know that they can't have kids because they've been doing abortions. And in life, it was said that you're going to have 3 kids. Now you are married, you did 4 abortions, 3 abortions, you want kids, you can't have kids. You come to a Sangoma to do what? Go and kneel down and tell God what you did and ask for forgiveness. He will give you kids. You know what you did. You know you killed a person. You understand? But you want Sangoma to give you muti, saying people are bewitching you because you got married. They're jealous. And just stop looking for excuses. Close yourself in your room and confess your sins. That's it. God loves me. God did not punish me on Monday when he took our son. There's no punishment. It was his time. He's resting. No Sangoma Mina can come into my life and do whatever they want. Or baloye benzen nina nika bathakathi I-credit, doesn't it? You believe every shit. I'm gonna make a practical example. As a woman, if you have this thing with I'm pregnant, I had sex without a condom, I think I'm pregnant. Don't you realize that you start having pregnancy symptoms? You miss your periods. You start having womb pains. Everything happens. You start having cravings. The power of this. Once you start waking up and telling yourself, "Good thing to the street," so hey, Joe, get on my pillowcase. I call it. Washana my pillowcase every week. Get a pillowcase as a pela my pimples. I've got pimples now.
Yeah.
This is not witchcraft. When I'm on my periods, I get pimples. So guys, I get mean. I'm finishing my periods next week. I'll be fine. When I'm going to my periods, I get pimples. Uzodibana nesangoma una ma pimples. Wa ma periods always actually go to the street of room. Knowing very well good you get pimples when you go on a period. Uvume. It's been a month, ungawasha my pillowcase, you sleep, unama oil and uyalala, your skin gets irritated, you get rash. Gogo Skhotheni makutshela ukuthi unesichithe gaza kancane again mina ngincane.
Uyasivale.
Ayasivale.
Thank you so much.